Hello everyone, this is Via from Via Creates and welcome to this new video. This is the first of my 2024 bujo spreads, so let's set up my journal for the year. To give some background, last year I decided to do a year-long theme, which was different characters for each month, such as Sanrio characters, or Totoro, or Molang. And so this year I wanted to continue to do something similar. So the year theme is the Enchanted Forest, and each spread is going to represent a different scene from an enchanted forest. They're not really tied to any specific story or fairy tale, but I just wanted to capture the aesthetic and the art style that you might find in a fairy tale book. My setup theme is bluebirds and ribbons, though incidentally I included some Taylor Swift references and decided to lean into that a bit as well. And though I wasn't thinking about this at the time, after I posted the pictures of this, a lot of people said it reminded them of Cinderella, which I love. So that's definitely the very magical, very princess fairy tale vibes that I was going for here. I used my Crayola colored pencils for this, so nothing too fancy. And to really build up the values, I would sketch really lightly at first and then add darker and darker colors to create that contrast. The coquette aesthetic is really in right now, and so I think that the ribbons in this spread and my following spreads really lean into that as well. I love including trends in my bullet journal because I feel like they serve as a reflection of the time in which I made it, and I can look back on my previous journals and recognize different art styles from different eras. I had actually bought this pen specifically for doing these spreads because I knew I wanted to do a lot of brown outlining and not black outlining this year. And so this is the Faber brush pen in like this really dark brown, and I absolutely adored using it. It was just what I needed to create a nice outline that wasn't too harsh with the more delicate feel. This font is called Rowan, and I originally found it on Pinterest, and I was able to go to the website where it's sold on and just create a little alphabet that I keep in my notes page on my iPad so that I can reference it for my bullet journal. And so I'm not great at copying fonts exactly. I think it's really helpful to have a specific font in mind when trying to create a consistent theme because it helps take away some of the guesswork and some of the extra thought, so I can focus more on the drawings and the style versus the lettering. This spread is a little bit more minimalistic than what I normally do, so I felt like I needed to include some extra color, which I did by taking my Tombow brush pen and outlining each of the letters. I think this was a perfect touch to add a subtle glow, but without making the spread look too busy. It still felt a little bit too empty, so I added an outline to some more items and some swirls as well. And here's my cover page. I'm not always a huge New Year's resolution person. Everybody has their own way that they like to set goals for the new year, and a lot of times I like to do mine as a mix of small items that I can do to improve some aspect of my life, or big life events that I know are going to happen anyways. For example, I'm actually graduating this year from university, and so I put that as one of my goals, is just to graduate. Theoretically it will happen, and that's like a really big thing that I'm looking forward to this year, and so I made sure that I included stuff like that too as a part of my planning and looking forward to 2024. As you can see here, I'm using the same font that I used in the cover page, and I'd already gotten some practice in drawing the numbers, so it did go a bit faster this time. I tried something new here where I was attempting to make the cursive look like it was a ribbon itself. This was probably the hardest thing that I did in any of these spreads, and sometimes I wrote it too small that it was a little bit unclear, but I still think the overall intention was expressed, and it really does match with the rest of the ribbons in these spreads. To lean more into the Taylor Swift theme, I put a quote here from one of her songs, and I think it perfectly matched the theme because it's about an invisible string and there's lots of ribbons in this thread, and it's just such a pretty quote. So I used a Tombow Tsuki brush pen to write this in, and it's a really nice soft brown to really contrast some of the darker colors here. Finishing this up with some more highlighting, and I really love this bright pink as well for my mild liner pen because I think it matches well with the light blue that I used to outline the letters to add that little bit of a glow. And the space left below is where I will write my goals. If you're new to journaling or bullet journaling and you're wondering what to put in this yearly setup, I love doing a 1 photo a month spread, something that I started doing last year and it was so fun. So throughout the year, I will look back at the end of every month and I have an album in my phone where I keep 1 or 2 photos that I feel like represented the month or were part of a really special memory for that month. And then at the end of the year, I put all the photos into my 1 photo a month spread. What's nice about this is that it's super easy to make. There's a lot of space in it left open to put the photos in. So you can do a fancy title or a simple title, some doodles or no doodles. And I also outline my little photo card size so that I know where all of them go, and I generally keep about 6 in 1 page. So I will do 2 pages of this, but for such an easy type of page, it really does have a high reward, and it's a really great way to look back on a year and see the visual changes that have happened. A really simple way to add more detail and color to this type of spread is to just outline the spots where you want to put the photos with a little shadow with a highlighter, and it adds just a nice little pop of color. Here's how they turned out. I can't wait to add in my photos at the end of the year. This is another really simple 2024 setup spread in which I take a page and I write all of my best moments from the year. And these can range anywhere from small memories such as getting a cup of coffee with a friend, or big things like birthdays, graduations, weddings, anything like that. And this is another great way to look at a year and see all of the good things that have happened, because I like having those memories and those reminders of everything that I am blessed with in my life. And this is also a great one to fill in throughout the year. One thing that I do is I will keep a note in my phone that if anything happens that I want to put it in here and I don't have my journal with me, I can write it there and then fill it in later. I usually do put the date with all of my best moments, but you can really do it any way that you like. It can be in chronological order or they can be scattered around the page. And what's really nice is that if you fill it up early, then you know that you've been having a really great year so far, and you could just create a new one later on in your journal. And here's my best moment spread. My puppy Henry decided to join me for this one. He was very sleepy, so he did sleep through the whole thing, but I appreciated his moral support. And for this spread, I am creating 12 boxes where I'm going to draw each one of my themes for the year. I use the same format that I used last year, and I'll put the dimensions of the boxes up on the screen if you need them. And so I really wanted this page to be mostly taken up by my themes, and I did the title just off to the side, and so this has a little bit less detail than the rest of my spreads so far, but as the year goes on, I will fill it up and it will be a really beautiful, colorful page. I did some brown washi tape for a final touch, and here's how it turned out. This is another spread that I started doing last year, but this is where I'm tracking all of my social media numbers just to see the growth that I've had over the years and which accounts tend to be doing better. So I once again did the ribbon type title as well as my Rowan font title, and I didn't quite like how this ribbon title turned out. It was a little bit messy for me, but I just tried to roll with it and tried to fix it a little bit. And I also included a little bluebird holding a ribbon on the side just to tie all of my themes together. I always get so nervous when I write all my months together, because when I do it all the time during like my New Year setup or my previous year reflection, I feel like I'm going to forget a month. So I probably should have written them in pencil first. Since this was the last spread, I just wanted to get it over with. absolutely adore this very soft baby blue color, but I grew up hating anything baby blue, and actually most colors of blue, so it's really interesting that now as an adult I've really come to love the color. And here's the final look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it inspired you and brought a little bit of magic and wonder into your journal. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And as always, I hope you'll have a wonderful day.